They are possibly the most destructive forces on our planet, triggering mass extinctions, kickstarting ice ages and even nearly wiping out our own species around 50,000 years ago. So drilling into a supervolcano, huge buildups of magma beneath the crust that can hurl trillions of tons of debris into the atmosphere, might seem like a rather foolish idea. But scientists in Italy are doing just that with an ambitious project that aims to drill more than 1.9 miles into Campi Flegrei, the supervolcano simmering beneath the Gulf of Naples in Italy. BBC Future reports that researchers are hoping the scheme will give them new insights into this sleeping giant and how these devastating volcanoes behave. They have already drilled a pilot borehole about 1,640 feet into the Earth's crust to measure the temperatures and stresses in the pit before the project was suspended in 2010 over safety concerns. The researchers behind it, however, hope they will be able to restart the drilling after getting the green light to go ahead. The project, however, has proved controversial, with some scientists fearing this scheme could cause a catastrophe by altering the state of the volcano and even triggering an eruption. The Campi Flegrei, a caldera already pitted with the craters of past volcanic eruptions, has the potential to kill up to 1 million people in its immediate vicinity. An eruption could also fling so much material into the atmosphere it could alter the planet's climate. But much of the plumbing driving the steady uplift of land around Naples is poorly understood. Many volcanologists, however, believe the best way to find out is to drill down into the area where these processes are taking place. Essentially, they want to put their sensors deep underground to measure the breathing of the volcano as its surface rises up and down each year. Speaking to the BBC, Dr. Stefano Carlino, a volcanologist at the National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology who is leading the project to drill into the Campi Flegrei, said, "Our project was evaluated by a committee of the most important and experienced scientists in the field of volcanology and scientific drilling. We are sure that there is no risk for the population. The insights they could gain could be profound." The team recently installed a system of optical fiber sensors under the sea off the coast of Naples to monitor more closely what the magma under there is doing. Drilling down would give them an insight into how the rocks themselves keeping the magma below bottled up like a cork in a champagne bottle is coping with the stress. Fears that drilling could release some of this pressure to trigger earthquakes or even eruptions may also be unfounded. The scientists are looking to drill around 1.9 miles into the Earth's crust while the magma is around 4.97 miles. Writing in a piece for The Conversation, Dr. Luca Dassina, a volcanologist at the University of Aberdeen who has spent 4 years at the Vesuvius Observatory, which monitors Campi Flegrei, said, "This is a perfect example of striking the balance between not doing enough to prevent a catastrophe, and doing too much." Preliminary drilling at the Campi Flegrei were stopped by local authorities after a media storm over the safety of the technique. A geochemist called Benedetto De Vivo at the University of Naples Federico II believes drilling at Campi Flegrei could cause a hydrothermal explosion if the drill hits superheated fluid underground. He believes that this could even trigger a chain reaction that would cause the volcano itself to erupt, although admits this has a low probability. His views are supported by other volcanologists like Giuseppe Mastrolorenzo, who told BBC Future that the area is extremely volatile and unpredictable. He believes scientists should adopt the precautionary principle until more is known about how the supervolcano may respond. The project to drill into the Campi Flegrei has now stalled after being suspended over the safety fears and currently requires another $6 million to $8 million to complete its pilot borehole. Dr. Dassina, however, believes there may be a way to watch the supervolcano without drilling down at all with the help of technology called attenuation tomography. He said, "This technique is still relatively new. The Japanese developed it for their volcanoes in the 1990s, but it is only in the past decade that it has reached the West. In combination with other geophysical and geological observations, we have used this technique to establish that there is no large magmatic chamber under Campi Flegrei between 0 km and 4 km depth. At least there wasn't during the last seismic crisis, which was between 1980 and 1984.